Before starting the class, can I ask few questions about yesterday's class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What were the first terrestrial plants with vascular tissues?
Pteridophytes.
So terrestrial,
Pteridophytes.
yeah, pteridophytes. What do you mean by terrestrial?
Land which grow on
Terrestrial
land.
means plants growing on the
Land.
land, dry land. Okay. So tell any unicellular algae examples.
Chlorella, spirulina.
Okay, which plants are the global responsible for the global photosynthesis of major portion of the global photosynthesis is done by either algae or bryophytes. Mostly by the
Bryophytes.
algae. Okay. So bryophytes, about bryophytes, options I'm giving. Are they first thallophytes, first embryophytes, first spermatophytes, or first tracheophytes?
First embryophyte.
First embryophytes. Okay. Now we'll look one entire scenario of ICAR exam. Let's see the portion. Do you know the syllabus?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me some topics? Topics you are aware of? Living world,
Anatomy of flowering
anatomy of plants, anatomy of animals. Okay.
biological classification,
Yeah.
morphology of flowering plants,
Okay.
plant kingdom,
Okay. So first,
photosynthesis,
if we see,
respiration.
okay. If you see in the living world, what are different subtopics can be seen in the living world? Okay, living world is all about life living together, like plants, animals living in water, living on land, different diversifications of their biological classification, their structure, their habitats, and different. Coming to habitat, what is meant by habitat?
Place of living.
Habitat is a place of living. Okay, where do plants live?
Land, water.
They can live on land, water. As of our knowledge, we know land and water, but different habitats are adapted by the different plants. Like example, mesophytes. Second type is xerophytes, lithophytes, epiphytes, hydrophytes, one more, halophytes. So what are mesophytes? Mesophytes are such type of plants which live at optimum climatic conditions, where adequate water is there, adequate sunlight is there, and land is very good fertile. Their water availability is also very well. So there the mesophytes like plants live. Example can be Mangifera indica, mango. Okay. What are xerophytes?
Desert area.
The completely dry region, complete dry or desert region they live. Examples can be Cascata and all. Opuntia. Lithophytes. They live on the rocks, hard rocks or mountains. Examples? You know, lichens or lichens or lichens, whatever. Lichens is a symbiotic association between what and what?
Algae and fungi.
Algae and fungi, they live in symbiosis, means both get benefited together. That is lichens. So on rocks, lichens grow. So such plants are called lithophytes. And what are epiphytes? They live on another plants, on the branches of other plants for adequate sunlight. Because on a big plant, the small plants, I mean, nearer to the big plant, a small plants can't receive enough sunlight, so they grow on the branches of a different plants. On branches of different plants, they grow. Such plants are called epiphytes. Next, hydrophytes live on water. They live in water. Example, hydrilla. Halophiles, they live in extreme salt conditions. Examples like Abyssinia. Okay, these are the different habitats of a plant. If you see duration of time, you know, perennials, ephemerals, annuals, biennials. So what are ephemerals? Ephemerals are the plants which can be harvested within 2 or 3 weeks or within few weeks. The yield is obtained. They are called ephemerals. Annuals means in a season. The yield is extracted in a year or in a season. Biennials means 2 years it takes. Like examples can be most of the crop plants are annuals only. Most of the agricultural crop plants. In biennials, perennials, example can be pinus. Okay. So most of the chickpeas and grams, chickpeas, Bengal grams, all those are annuals, seasonal crops. Okay. Now coming to the second portion of ICAR exam is, so today we are seeing the overall view. It is unit of life. What is the fundamental unit of life?
Cell.
Cell. Okay. What are the different cell organelles in a cell? Different cell organelles in a cell. If it is a
Cell wall,
plant cell,
mitochondria.
if it is a plant cell, it begins with cell wall.
Cell.
Cell wall made up of cellulose.
Peptidoglycan.
Okay. Next, cell membrane, cytoplasm, endocytoplasm, nucleus, chloroplast, mitochondria. Still, what are the major characteristic cell organelles in a plant cell? Vacuole. You have vacuole. What is a vacuole? Vacuole is a large cell organelle in a plant cell which stores the waste materials, and also it also contains some essential compounds required for the production of food. So this is unit of cell. This is a major, all the life process happen in the cell with the help of chloroplasts to produce food. Chloroplasts are arranged in the form of grana, or we call it as stacks of thylakoids. thylakoids or grana. They are attached like coins, piles of coils. Like coins are kept one above the other like that, and this is called stroma lamellae. This enter the physiology of plant cell. We come to the basic. Next, if we see organisms and environment, and also we have structure and function of the plant life, continuity of life, origin and evolution of life, and applications of biology. So different cell organelles. So of these, what are the membrane bound cell organelles?
Membrane.
Membrane
Nucleus.
bound, chloroplast,
Mitochondria.
mitochondria, nucleus. Okay. Which organelles have double membrane?
Golgi body.
Okay.
Endoplasmic reticulum.
Where mitochondria? Okay. And coming to nomenclature. What do you mean by nomenclature?
Naming of an organism.
Yeah, naming of a newly discovered organism or a creature for the first time. Okay. So names first, using genus and species, we name a particular creature. So which comes first, genus or species?
Genus.
In the name Homo sapiens, which is genus, which is species? Homo is a
Homo
genus,
is genus, species is
sapiens is
epithet.
species. The genus name should be written with start with a capital letter, and species name should start with a small letter. You know the rules? Okay.
Yes.
If you write the hierarchy, it starts with species, genus, family, order, class, phylum or division, kingdom. Okay, this is a hierarchy of classification. Hierarchy of nomenclature. Who introduced nomenclature? Binomial nomenclature. Who introduced binomial nomenclature? Scientists?
Linnaeus.
Huh?
Carolus Linnaeus.
Linnaeus. Okay. And today we are learning. We'll see some topics of morphology. Can you tell me the differences between taproot and adventitious root system? Anyone? Taproot system? Okay. Taproot, it develops from the radical of the embryo. Okay. There is a seed, if this is a seed, if you sow in the ground, one portion will be growing towards the light, one will be growing towards the ground. So this is called radical, and this is called plumule. it goes into it grows into shoot system, it grows into the root system. Here the taproot begins from the radicle of the embryo, whereas adventitious root system, it grows from any part of the plant other than radicle. Other than radicle, it can grow from any part of the plant. Like if a plant grows like this, branches, these roots can emerge even from the branches or even from any part of the plant. This is adventitious root system, we call them as. Fibrous roots are a type of adventitious root system. Adventitious root system. You know, and also taproot system, that root system is underground, whereas adventitious root system, it may become underground or may be above ground. You know, taproot system is the most basic kind of root system where plant will be there and roots are below the ground like this, and it has some root cap, root pockets, root hairs. Root hairs are branching like this. It's a region of maturation. I mean, meristematic region, elongation region, maturation region, root hairs are present. This is the most common root system, is called taproot. Coming to adventitious root, these are always growing towards the ground or below the ground, whereas adventitious can be above the ground also. Just like example, you know, banyan tree. Banyan tree roots are emerged from the branches and they grow into the ground. So such type of root system. That is an example of mechanical support. Roots are providing the mechanical support, and the primary root is persistent and is called taproot. The plant does not persist after liquid. Okay. Here the big one which started from top to bottom. This is called primary root. It is there from the beginning. This is called primary root, and all these are secondary or tertiary roots. In the taproot system, primary root is always there from the end to beginning. Whereas in adventitious system, primary root may be there or may be worn out. And the main root is quite thick compared to its branches. In the taproot system, the main root is very, very thick. Compared to the adventitious root system, the roots can be like this. There is no main root or no primary root or no something like that. Okay. A taproot system is very common in dicotyledons, and this is very common in dicots, means two cotyledons are present. This is very common in monocots. What are cotyledons? I gave some examples like rice grain, which is a monocot, and groundnut is a dicot. You know, what are different types of root modifications we have seen, like fibrous or fleshy roots or storage roots, we call it as. There, the examples are like Raphanus, sativus like radish, carrot, and beetroot. They grow inside the roots. I mean, under the ground, because the food is produced actually above the ground, but it is carried towards under the ground. That's why roots will become very thick and fleshy. It is a root modification because of, the plant might be adapted to such system, maybe because food to store the food, storage of food, and also other types of roots are nodular roots where rhizobium, nitrogen fixing bacteria like rhizobium will be in symbiotic with the leguminous plants like peas and grams. You know, green peas and all the green peas will come into leguminous family. And respiratory roots are breathing roots. We also call them as pneumatophores. Means they grow negatively geotropic. They grow positive phototropic, means towards up, and they will take oxygen from the environment also. So they are called breathing roots. We can see them in Abyssinia, mostly in the beach areas, in the most wet and moist sand areas. We can see such type of respiratory roots. Plants like Abyssinia and Juicea, they have this mostly respiratory roots. In the water, they float. If they are present on the water, they float. And coming to the storage roots, we have different types of storage roots. And coming to ficus banyan tree, it is a mechanical root. Coming to stilt roots, modified adventitious roots are stilt roots, and climbing roots like piper beetle. You know, beetle leaves will be eating, so that is a climbing root. Root will be climbing upwards towards the phototropic. And coming to parasitic roots, we know they're called sucking roots. They completely take the energy like water and nutrients or chemicals, organic chemicals, from the surrounding neighborhood plant, which act as a parasite. For example, Rafflesia, and and also in these parasites also there are incomplete root parasites, complete root parasites. Incomplete root parasites means they only depend only for certain one thing, only for one purpose. Whereas complete means completely dependent. Example, Rafflesia will be coming complete. Incomplete can be Santalum, Striga, etc. Jovar. And also these parasites, they not only the roots will go and attack, but also stem. Such plants are called stem parasites. Root parasites, stem parasites, and here if you come to the shoot system, we call it as a stem. Stem comes under shoot system. Here, if you see, there are different functions of the stem. The main function is to spread out its appendages, and the forms of stem, the different forms, like stems differs in herbs, shrubs, trees. Okay, herbs, shrubs, and trees. Trees have very thick and strong stem. Coming to stem modifications, even there are different stem modifications are there. We call them as underground stem modifications. When the stem is present underground, it is modified in such a way that to either storage of food or taking the nutrients and all. First modification is rhizome. You know, ginger, which is extracted, Zingiber officinale, it is called ginger, and curcuma longa, turmeric, and bananas. So mostly here, so most of the plants, only roots are present underground, but even stem is present underground. Only the very minimum percentage of the stem is observed to the on the shoot system aerially, but the major portion of the stem, if it is present in the underground, such parts or such plants are called which are modified their stem, and such plants they even produce food down. Example, rhizome like ginger, Gingiber sativum, and banana plant. Even banana plant have major portion of the stem underground. Okay, that is called rhizome. Next, if you see stem tubers like potatoes, even potatoes are extracted or yielded by digging underground. Here, even it is so it is called stem tuber. Coming to root tubers, it is carrot, radish, and beetroot. Stem tubers, it is potatoes. There's no much difference. There the root is storing the food, here stem is storing the food, and that's it. Example, potatoes, and then you can see bulb. Bulb is a type of, again, stem modification underground. Example is onion. Even onions are yielded by digging the soil. Here also stem is storing the food. So here onion is example. Coming to onion, the scientific name is Allium cepa. Allium cepa. Okay. Next, coming to subaerial stem modifications. Subaerial stem modifications. Subaerial means not completely into the air, not completely into the underground. In this, we have runners, stolon, suckers, offset. First of all, did you understand the stem modifications underground? Respond.
So repeat the question.
Underground stem modifications. Have you any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay. So can you tell me the example of a tuberous stem modification? Stem tuber. Example,
Carrot.
potato. And root tubers,
Radish and beetroot.
can I get that one example for mechanical root support?
Banyan tree.
Okay. What is a bulb?
So it is the modification of leaf.
Okay, it's a stem modification.
Same modification.
Example.
Onion.
Onions.
Okay. What are ephemerals?
Plants living for 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, in few
Giving
weeks.
yellow.
What are annuals?
Plants living for 1 season.
Okay. Examples of parasitic roots.
Cuscuta. Raclacia.
Okay. Respiratory roots.
Nematophores.
You know
Rhizophora.
photosynthetic roots. Photosynthetic roots. Roots. Yeah, generally roots doesn't have chloroplast, but there are plants with roots having chloroplast and performing photosynthesis. They are also called assimilatory roots. Okay, the examples can be Tinospora, Tinophyllum, Trapa. Okay, Tinospora, Tinophyllum, Trapa. What are adventitious roots?
The roots growing from any other part rather than radical.
Okay. Rhizome. Can you tell me about rhizome? So it is an underground stem modification. Examples?
Ginger, turmeric, banana.
Yeah. Okay. Today I will be sending you some questions regarding today's topic, and we'll continue the class tomorrow.